Hello, my fiery friends, the Infernoman here with the hottest in budget live deck technology. Hopefully, again, you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And again, hopefully you are ready for another exciting morning of budget magic. Although we're going to do a little bit of a twist today on today's live stream. So, what exactly are we going to be playing? Well, I'm glad you asked. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it and show you what we're working with today. Hold on one second. There we are. Awesome. Okay, so what exactly was I trying to talk about earlier? We're going to, again, do a small twist. Normally, I usually commit to one side or the other, whether it's budget or non-budget for these deck techs. Oh, welcome, Dense Planet. Again, as always, thank you for being here, my fiery friend. So, as I was mentioning right now, what we're going to be doing is we'll then do this in two different ways. So, a way I built this deck today was we built it actually with budget in mind, but I did actually have just enough time to actually make the non-budget version. So for the first half of the stream, we'll go over the deck, of course, in a budget form. The second half of the stream will be a non-budget form of the same deck. So whether you like it, again, on the much more cost-efficient side, or if you want to go all out, I'll have both links for those at the very end of the stream later today. So what exactly as I mentioned we're playing? Well, of course, I wanted to then kind of jump back into a fun little card that I'm sure many of you have grown to either love or hate. It's going to be Greasefang. Greasefang, of course, is back, and she's got brand new toys for us thanks to Aetherdrift. But before we get started with that, we of course got to jump into the stats of the deck. So for those of you that are new to this, really mostly this is how it works. We're going to go over the stats of the deck. We'll go over every single card and how the strategy works, and then we'll play as many games as we can in best of one. We're going to mix it up today. We'll do a little bit of best of one and best of three, depending on whichever side. But the way it's going to be done again is first half will be the budget version. Second half is what I'm planning to do for the non-budget version. And then once we get to the very end of the stream, we'll kind of talk about the deck overall, good, bad, maybe what we should do to kind of make refinements and readjustments down the line. So, again, going over the stats, for long-time viewers of the channel, you know how we do it. We have to talk about those stats right now before we dive right into it completely. So, as I mentioned, Greasefang is now going to be, this is going to be an Abzan version. We actually talked about Greasefang years ago when she was a brand new card when it was Esper colors, but this time there's a lot of awesome stuff in green, so we had to of course go green for this version of it. So as I mentioned, it's Abzan colors of white, black, and green. Average mana curve looks a little high at 2.9, but many of the high-end cards you won't actually have to hard cast, so we'll show you how that works in a bit. And we're going to be rocking 12 creatures, 10 instants, 4 sorceries, 9 artifacts, 4 enchantments, and 21 lands. So, for those that have no idea what I'm talking about, because I know it's been a little while and Greasefang is not as popular in the Explorer format as she once was, Greasefang here is going to be this card right here. Greasefang Okiba Boss is a 3-mana 4/3 rat pilot that reads, at the beginning of combat on your turn, you return target vehicle card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste, and then you return it back to your hand at the beginning of your next end step. So, in other words, we're just trying to throw a bunch of really expensive vehicles into the graveyard. We're going to reanimate them real quick with Greasefang, do some massive damage with them, bounce them back to our hand, and then later on in the game we could see if we could try to discard them some more, or at least try to mill them into the graveyard to then just get more and more value. Usually this is a really sweet strategy, but we had a lot of graveyard hate that's been popping up over the past couple of years, so I can understand why Greasefang is not quite as popular as she once was. At various moments I did learn to hate the deck, but I've kind of let it slide away for a bit, and I've kind of had a renewed faith, if you will, on this deck. So that's how, again, where we're at today. So let's go ahead, let's go over the one drops, of course, real quick. Oh yes, I know. I'm sure you know her very well, Dense Planet, and I'm sure there are many players out there that do. But this version, of course, is going to be a budget version first, and then, as I mentioned, we'll then go over a non-budget one later today. So in the one drops out here, we'll have Duress here. Mostly, again, it's just to discard any key cards. Mostly it's just for the removal, so that way we can get rid of that. So hopefully Greasefang doesn't have to deal with anything to get her out of the way. We do have some fatal pushes here, so in case if anything does go awry or if we have to deal with anything in the early game, we just use that as our spot removal. As far as our discard outlet and also our removal here, we're going to be utilizing Professor of Symbology here, but we're actually going to then be a little bit more sneaky with this than anticipated. So what I mean by that is I'll get to it in the sideboard. Of course, when it enters, it has Learn. So either you get a lesson card from our sideboard or you discard a card to draw a card. So this is actually great for us in two different ways, and I'll show you again in just a bit. Raffine's Informant here enters and connives, so in order to connive, you do draw a card, and then you discard a card. And if you discarded a non-land card, you put a +1/+1 counter on the creature. That actually could be relevant depending on how our board state looks, because you sometimes want a good blocker. We have also for additional removal here, Bitter Triumph. It will force us to discard a card or pay 3 life, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to be discarding a card because that's exactly what you want this deck to do. As far as brand new exciting additions to the deck, we'll utilize Dredger's Insight and Broodheart Engine here. Starting with Dredger's Insight here, it's a 2-mana enchantment that reads, whenever one or more artifacts or creatures we have leave the graveyard, we gain 1 life. So this is great for light stabilization as we keep, of course, reanimating everything we have. When this enchantment enters, you mill 4 cards, and then you can put an artifact, creature, or land card from among the mill cards into your hand. So this is actually a really solid piece for us, and it works perfectly for this deck. It literally feels like it was made for actually Greasefang. And then we'll have Broodheart Engine here. This is a Golgari artifactor that reads, at the beginning of our upkeep, you get to surveil 1. For 4 mana and tapping it and sacrificing this artifact, you can then return a creature or vehicle card from our graveyard to the battlefield. We only need a single copy of it, so this is mostly just to bring back Greasefang if we need to in a pinch. So this is actually pretty nice for us, and the surveil is just, again, it's just really sweet because, again, it just helps us keep filtering through our deck. Very easy. I can't believe they actually made this such a cheap option for us, but I love it. Grizzly Salvage is a staple of the deck, so we got to throw that in there. You then dig 5 cards deep, put a creature or land card into our hand from among those cards, and throw the rest into your graveyard. Greasefang, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be our key piece that really makes the whole deck, of course, work, but we do, of course, have some lighter options if we just have to outgrind them using our Professors and Raffines to then crew up things. Now, as far as the vehicles we're going to be reanimating, this is actually the exciting part here. We're going to be utilizing one of the brand new ones here, Salvation Engine. This is a 5-mana 6/10. Woo! Wow, that's actually great stats. Vehicle that reads, other artifact creatures we control get +2/+2, and then whenever this vehicle attacks, you get to return up to 1 target artifact card from our graveyard to the battlefield. So this is actually a bit more of a niche card here, because technically, anytime we reanimate this one, we usually don't have enough to crew it entirely, but if we do manage to, this can also bring back an additional one of our vehicles for us for basically nothing. So there's going to be some moments you actually do want specific vehicles. Have the Salvation Engine out if you can, and then bring back maybe like your Sky Sovereign here, your Parhelion. Basically, it's just going to help you just kind of just fill out your whole battlefield just to get you that extra card. However, just again, be mindful, it does require a crew of 6. So this is a much more like, you kind of have to strategize around depending on when you need this card. But it is in the deck. We threw it in there. It does provide some great backup for us depending on what our board state looks like. As far as another classic staple, Sky Sovereign, console flagship, i.e. the flying boat. When it enters or attacks, you get to deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. This is basically our spot removal that we have if we need to bring this back, and maybe we have certain threats we just need to blow up instead. We have a brand new card here, also Thundering Broodwagon here. This is a 6-mana 6/5 with Menace and Reach. When this vehicle enters, we get to destroy a non-land permanent an opponent controls with a mana value of 3 or less. You can either cycle it, so this is great for us because it does throw itself into the graveyard, or of course you can crew it for 3. So the key thing with this card, however, is this is just going to be spot removal that maybe the flying boat just can't deal with. So this is actually kind of good for us to just deal with mostly artifacts and enchantments. So we only just need a single copy, so it's again very niche for the deck, but it does provide some unique options for us. Another brand new card is going to be Valor's Flagship here, a 7-mana 7/7. It's a legendary artifact vehicle. It has flying, first strike, and lifelink. So it also has crew 3. You can also cycle it as well for basically 2, and then actually, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Whoops, hold on. 4 technically. Oh, actually, no, wait. 3 and then X. So yeah, numbers are hard, by the way. Any case, if you cycled the card, however, you can then make a pilot token if you need to. So depending on how much mana you have, you can cycle this away and just make a couple of extra tokens that could help you, of course, crew other things. But ideally, if you can get this out with that lifelink ability, it's great for stabilization here. So again, it is a more niche option for you depending on what your board state looks like. But of course, 99% of the time, you're going to be, of course, reanimating the one and only Parhelion 2. So an 8-mana flying vehicle that has 5/5 and it's flying, first strike, and vigilance. Whenever Parhelion attacks, you get to create 2 4/4 white angel creature tokens that have flying and vigilance and are also attacking. You crew it for 4. So this is, of course, the ideal option for you. But of course, we have those other vehicles as backup options, again, depending on what you need more importantly for the deck. Since this is going to be for the first half, as I mentioned again and again, it is a budget version, but we will, of course, have an upgraded one a little bit later today. We'll start off with 5 plains, 5 swamps, 3 forests, some sand-steep citadels here is our tapped tri-land, and escape tunnel here, which will be great for us to dig out the other according to whatever land we need to in a pinch. As far as the sideboard, this is going to be a little bit more of a complex sideboard. So again, we are utilizing Professor of Symbology. So I figured we could do for the first half is going to be a lesson package. So for the lesson package here, we can dig out Environmental Science to help us pull out a basic land and gain some life for stabilization. Reduce to Memory and Necrotic Fumes are going to be additional spot removal. Sometimes you actually may need these in a pinch depending on our opponent's board state here. Containment Breach is going to be for Artifact and Enchantment Hate. Inkling Stumbling can bring us a flying creature here that could sometimes be utilized for crewing or at least for chump blocking in the air. Expanded Anatomy here can also pump up one of our creatures, can help it make it crew easier, or again, help it just push through some damage. And a single copy of Introduction to Prophecy here to help us scry 2, and then draw 2 cards to help, again, filter through our deck. If we're playing full best of 3 here, then your Graveyard Hate is going to be Tormod's Crypt here. It's free, so we're going to throw it in there, and it's just easier for us. We're also going to have extra copies of Bitter Triumph here. We'll then utilize copies of Detention Chariot. Again, this is going to be more of a niche option for you that you can utilize, and it really just depends on the board state itself. But depending on how it goes, you can utilize this instead of just blowing stuff up. You can also utilize it for exiling. It's also actually a very beefy 6/6, so pretty nice, and also a crews 3, so it's actually pretty cheap for us to crew. And then finally, at the very end, another copy of Thundering Brewragon to then just round out the whole package. For if you're interested one more time, you can of course see a link for this later on in the whole thing. I'll cover, of course, the the upgraded version later today. So again, hang in there for that one. Don't worry. I know I'm just as excited for that one as you are. So let's go ahead and try it out now. And let's see how well this deck does. Because again, I'm pretty excited for these new upgrades that we're getting from this. And hopefully it should be more than enough to just bring back Greasefang. Alright, so here we go. Getting this all ready to go here. Alright, first match. And then while we're doing this again, let me know in the comments below, what do you think so far? Are you enjoying this? Or are you looking forward to some of the future cards that have been released over this past week? Because, man, we got a lot of previews from both Final Fantasy and we got previews from Tarkir literally yesterday. Wow, that's actually a lot of cards to go through, by the way. Wow, it's a lot. Okay, so here we go. So ideally, again, you want to try to have your 2 key cards, which is the Greasefang or Parhelion to start throwing away here. We have Parhelion to throw away with Raffine's Informant, but we don't have the Greasefang just yet. It's okay, though. We're going to see if we can make it work, though. We'll keep this. All right, opponent. Show me what you got. All right, so with the early game here, we can actually put down our cheap fetch land now so we don't have anything to play. All right, opponent's got a Plains. All right, we'll sack. All right, let's see. We'll pull out a Swamp first. We got what we need. Grizzly Salvage, that's great. So, Forest, and then we'll play Dredger's Insight now. Mill. Name of the game. We're trying to find right now Greasefang. No Greasefang, though. That's okay. We'll get Raffine's Informant back, though. Gain a life. All right. Useful Valkyrie. Okay, so it's going to be Angels we're facing off against. Interesting. All right. Well, Raffine's Informant. We'll connive. We throw away a Parhelion. So, of course, now our opponent probably knows exactly what we're doing, which is, I know, it's coming a mile away. It's super obvious what we're doing. But if our opponent's playing mono white, that most likely means they don't have any Graveyard Hate. So, we just got to move quick enough to then just overwhelm our opponent before these Angels that they have will beat us down. All right, come on, deck. Let's see. What do we want here, though? Well, Grizzly Salvage now. There we go. Woo! All right. Nice. Greasefang in hand. Mill everything else. No attacks. All right, opponents. It's coming. Greasefang is ready to rev up. Dense, but it still brewing with decks. Got an idea for Dimir Poison. Not having great luck with rooms. For some reason, they all run Enchantment Hate now. Yeah, I mean, if it's not that, it's also the what is it? If it's not Enchantment Hate, it's also Artifact Hate. So that's a little heavy right now in the format. Just gotta hang in there, my man. Okay, opponent is starting to do their early swings. Okay, I mean, that's fine. Down to 15. And they're going to start making their own Angels, so this could still go either way with us. We'll see if we could try to find a way around them. Okay, we're going to bring back Greasefang. Get our Parhelion. We came here for a reason, though. But the good news, of course, is even if Parhelion gets blown up, we actually do want it in the graveyard still. So, honestly, it doesn't really matter what our opponent tries to do here. We're just going to have to be as aggro as possible. All right, opponents. What do you do against our Angel army? Do you block? Most likely. Okay. They block. Do they block still? Okay, they do not. All right, so unfortunately our Parhelion is not going to be able to push through these Angels just quite yet, but that's okay. If we can just push through a little bit more, we might be able to hopefully stop them here. If we have to, though, I can also utilize Professor of Symbology a couple times over here just to get a little bit more in terms of the power. We might have to... Okay. All right. Ugh. They managed to get their Angels off before we could actually do anything, so we're looking a little rough here. Okay, opponent is swinging hard. Dang, they actually got their Angels out faster than we actually could get our Parhelion. Okay, so any and all Angels we can just get rid of off the field. We need to. So we're down to 3. Okay. All right, Professor of Symbology. Okay, we learn. Unfortunately, we don't have another... Yeah, we don't have another land to actually destroy our opponent's stuff. That's honestly kind of unfortunate. Okay, so is there anything we can grab, or should we just... Well, I guess we'll throw away the Parhelion and draw another card. Oh, Thunder... Okay, I think I have an idea. We will Raffine's Informant. Connive. Throw away the Brood Wagon. I mean, okay. I mean, even if we push through with Parhelion, that's still not quite enough for us here. So, yeah, maybe they might have cooked us here. I mean, we'll still get Parhelion back. We can crew. We can still swing with it. That's not enough, though, unfortunately. Man. Yeah, Angels, once again. Even if we hit as hard as possible here. Down to 20-30. That does actually soften them up a little bit. Not by much, but it does soften them. On the other hand, Teamer Adventures has been very good. Oh, you've been having luck with Teamer Adventures, Den Splinets? How's that been going for you? Daniel, hey there. How's the rat doing recently? Well, we're finding out right now. So you just joined us right at the very start of this stream, but unfortunately it looks like our opponent is overrunning us with Angels. Yeah. Dang. They got us. I mean, even if we block all this, we just can't get through. Every time I play Angels, I never look out this well. Maybe only a couple times I play Angels and it turns out this well, but... Oh, well. Oh, we got wasted it pretty hard. It's okay, though. Not a big deal. We'll just move on to the next one. All right, well, that was our first game. Our first loss. Not a big deal, though. We've only just gotten started, so it's okay. And again, as a reminder, this is the budget version for the first half. The second half, we will introduce a non-budget version. Honestly, though, the main deck for the non-budget one doesn't change all that much. We just get a better mana base. But realistically, it feels like Greasefang can still do pretty well even on a budget mana base, because you realistically don't play much of anything until turn 2, turn 3. Okay, so let's try this again. We can't do anything with his hand here. The forests and plains don't do anything, so let's try this. Okay, well, we got our Greasefang, which is great. We got everything here. Okay, this looks pretty good. We'll keep this hand. Let's see. Do we want to keep the Bitter Triumph, though? Or do we want the forest? Decision making here. I think we'll put back the Valor's Flagship. Or maybe, I don't know. But the Raffine's Informant, we then... No, actually, the Forest. I know we'll dig into what we need. I do believe that. Alright, close up their tap land. They're playing Yorion. Okay, so, game plan right here. Raffine's Informant will do its thing. Valor's Flagship goes into the yard. And we should be able to go from there. We just need our third land drop. In the meantime, though, let's get that plains out. No, we got a plains too. Okay. Well, that's awkward. It's okay. We'll still make it work, though. Raffine's Informant. We connive. We will throw away Valor's Flagship. So now we got a 3-2. All right. Let's see. Can we find a way around this? Fable the Mirror Breaker. Alright. One's going to start blinking stuff here. Cannot do much of anything right now. No attacks yet. Daniel, you doing Mardu or Abzan? I'm moderately just hearing in podcast mode walking. Oh, right now we're doing the Abzan version because thanks to Aetherdrift, we actually got quite a few extra options that actually work pretty well in making the deck budget again. And we'll see if later on we can pull off a non-budget one with more success. Unfortunately, though, okay, our mana base is kind of betraying us. But again, this is a non-budget. I'm sorry, this is a budget build, so that's why it's going to be a little clunky for a bit. But I wanted to see how well it can do on a budget either way. Okay, our opponent right now is swinging. All right, Fable flipped, and they got all the treasure in the world. Very annoying, by the way. Luca, oh. Oh, good lord. Oh, no, no, no. Ugh. Alright. They got a tally out. Alright. So, unfortunately, that means Agent of Treachery. Okay. I hate... If it's... Oh, jeez. Okay. If it's one thing I actually do hate a lot is getting my stuff stolen. Alright. And Agent of Treachery. Yeah, I'm not sticking around for that. I hate that card so much. Such an annoying card. And everyone always plays it not fairly. It's always just a cheese it out. Alright, it's okay. We'll take the loss on that one too. It's fine. It's okay. Again, just getting started, so we have plenty of time to hopefully rally back. Alright. Shaking it off. We'll try again. Not a big deal. Okay. While we're waiting out for our next opponent to go do their thing, yeah, yikes. It didn't work out in our favor then, Splendid. It's okay, though. Not a big deal. In any case, what are your thoughts right now on some of the recently revealed cards from the past week? Like, what are your thoughts, anybody, on what we've seen from, what is it, Tarkir? Everybody was super happy yesterday about all the Tarkir cards. Although the only thing that kind of bothers me is, again, nothing actually against the cards. I mean, I personally like to see new stuff, but man, Wizards is kind of making it a little difficult for us to enjoy it to a degree because I like doing prediction videos, but every time they spoil so much, it kind of takes the fun out of predicting things. So I don't even know if now I want to do a prediction video for Tarkir. I might try to squeeze one in, but if they reveal any more cards, it's not as fun. Any case. Okay. So in any case, let's see, we will sacrifice that, get a Plains. Okay. Okay, Dredger's Insights. And we'll pass here. So we're a little slow. We got only our fetch lands, so that means it's going to be a little clunky for a bit, but at least we can fix our land base, hopefully. This shouldn't hurt us too much. Opponent's playing Sylvan Caryad. Okay, it's another Yorion deck, so let's see where that goes. Sacrifice here. We will get out a forest. Oh, beautiful. We actually got our swamp. All right, so we have exactly the right mana we need to do our thing. We just need to get some vehicles now into the yard. First off, though, let me... Dredger's Insight. Mill, mill, mill. Okay, so we will get back... Where do we get back here? Let's see. I think we'll get back the Plains. We can keep casting stuff. Let's get a peeky peek with a Duress. All right, opponent, show me what you got. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so they definitely have a lot in their hand here. What do we get rid of, though? We have the Ancient Cornucopia, Bring to Light, Fable, Deafening Clarion. Oh, geez, there's, like, completely stacked here. So the Deafening Clarion we don't care about. Once we get our Angels going, they're big enough where you can avoid that. Beans only will do more stuff once they cast bigger things. Fable is basically a 3-in-1, so that's probably the most logical. But they also Bring to Light, but they need 5 mana for that. So, let's see. Ancient Cornucopia. Probably the Fable. That'll give them the most advantage out of one card. So we're going to toss that. Okay, so all we just need to do is, again, we just need some vehicles into the graveyard, and we should be good to go. Come on, deck. Show me some love. Daniel, Jumbo Cactuar is weaker than it seems. I mean, I know everyone got super, super hyped about the Cactuar, because, of course, swinging for 10,000 seems hilarious, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I mean, yeah, it's scary, and yes, a lot of people are going to be doing goofy stuff with it, but it dies so easily, and it's 7 mana. That's a little too expensive. Even if you're playing just pure mono green, even if you have the perfect ramp, it's going to take you at least 4 turns to get to the Cactar. So, I don't know. Obviously, we're going to play it. We'll try to find a way to make it a budget deck, but... I mean, now that the hype's kind of gone past it a little bit, we'll see what happens. Alright, so, playing Greasefang. We will bring back Thundering Broodwagon here because we need to blow up some stuff. So, we'll blow up the Ancient Cornucopia. Sorry, opponent. You lose your little mana rock there. We'll crew for 3 and go swinging with our Broodwagon here. 6 damage is actually pretty good with this. And this is actually, what, an uncommon? That's actually a really good value. Okay, and then the good news, of course, is we can then throw it back out into the graveyard with Raffine's Informant. So we are solid here. Even if our opponent does try to blow it up with Deafening Clarion, we can bring it back with Grizzly Salvage anyway. All right, opponent, show me what you got. Come on.
It's time to
Bring it on. Okay. Anytime now, opponent. Come on. Come on. I believe in you. Don't keep me waiting too long here. Tumbleweeds are going to be rolling in right now. I mean, if our opponent takes any more longer, I'm going to use the restroom. Well, anyway, while our opponent is trying to figure out life right now in their decisions, I think, I mean, it wasn't too huge on us going back to Tarkir just yet. It's not like I don't like the plane, but it's just, I guess I was just waiting to see what are we getting from it. And they actually got some really exciting cards, some really awesome stuff that hopefully we can start building towards. We actually got a small, cute little version of Siege Rhino. That, of course, tells me we know exactly what deck I want to do first. We're going to be doing a Rhino deck once we get to Tarkir in 2 months. So stick around for that one. I'm actually already brewing that one, even with the fact that we didn't even get all the cards yet. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, Niv Mizzet. Scary, but it's not the worst for us. So here's how we do this. So thankfully, we can cycle away our Broodwagon, so that's actually hilarious. We don't even have to do anything there. Okay. Ooh, Brood Heart Engine here. That's actually pretty nice too. So here's, let's see, how do we get around that? Grizzly Salvage. We'll get, what do we get here? I'll get another Greasefang just in case. Mill. Okay, and then with that, we will, let's see, how much is Niv? Okay. Get back the Broodwagon again. Blow up the beans. We will turn on the Broodwagon. Swings. It has menace, so actually it gets around Niv Mizzet, which is actually hilarious. Down to 7 opponents. Okay. I'm pretty sure their Deafening Clarion has to be used now. Otherwise, they will lose. Daniel, also on YouTube here. Let's see. All I could see is the Cactar being used as a Smuggler Surprise combo payoff. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong about that one. It's either that or people are going to try to fling it. Either way, it's going to be one of those things. Gruel Surprise, fling. Yeah, yep, I agree. Most of the thing is it's going to be seen coming a mile away. So it's not like it's going to be that much of a surprise against most opponents. Dan Splendid, have you thought of making the deck with Push the Limit card, aka Rise of the Dark Realms, but in red and for cars? Huh. That's a good question. I haven't taken the time to look at that yet, but it does seem like an exciting option for us. I'll need more time, of course, to kind of brew that out if it works out for us. Okay, opponents are using Bring to Light again. All right. So yeah, their Bring to Light combo right now is getting annoying, but we do have ways of pushing through damage. So it's not like it's the worst against us. We just need to survive a turn. Fortunately, the good news is Dredger's Insight does give us, again, a little bit of life gain, so we could just survive a little bit longer. Okay. Opponent is playing Tybalt here. He exiles our Greasefang, but that's exactly why we wanted one back from the last turn. So we have an extra one anyway waiting in the wings. Okay, so let's see how we do this here. We will Raffine's Informant. We draw a card. Okay, there's our Parhelion. That's great. We will Greasefang again. This time, however, we bring back Parhelion. Sorry, opponent. Oh, wait. Wait, did I... Oh, my goodness. Wow. I misclicked there, everybody. No, I misclicked. That should have been a win right there for us. But I actually hit end turn. Okay, well. All right. I think I'm now going to lose this one on purpose because I just misclicked. All right, I punted. I gave away the win to the opponent there. I can't believe I did that. All right. Always pay attention to your board state, everybody. Always pay attention. Yeah. Oops. All right. So our opponent here now basically got a free turn. Because what was supposed to happen there was the Parhelion would have came back. We would have smashed them. We would have gotten the win. But I accidentally skipped the battle phase. So basically I just ended the turn and not did anything. I can't believe I did that. All right. Well, it's on brand for me, though. It's not the first time I've actually thrown away a match like that. But it's okay. I mean, that's also why I don't really care about my rank too much. Because you can see, yeah. A little glitchy there on the screen there. Interesting. Okay. Well, at this point, our opponent's probably going to be able to just do their thing. So I'll let them do their thing. I don't know what else we can do now. I mean, sure, I can still cast a couple more spells, but we don't have anything else. Unless we get another Greasefang here, we basically just gave away the match. Oh my goodness. We actually got another Greasefang? Wow, someone literally just took pity on me right now. I can't believe that. Okay, this time, we're not going to make that same mistake, okay? Okay, cycle away the Broodwagon. Get another card. Escape Tunnel. Okay, this time, okay, we will do it right. I can't believe I did that. Okay, okay, okay. Carefully click. Parhelion. Okay, now we swing. Let's see. Actually, does that kill them? Okay, it actually doesn't kill them. So we'll put one right there. Okay, down to 10. Tibble dies. Down to 6. Okay. Whew. Almost completely gave away the match there. Alright, so yeah. I don't know what happened there. Maybe the game took pity on me, but we somehow actually top-decked a third Greasefang. So we're not dead, despite my own mistakes. Dense Linnets. Really pinching with wildcards. Really coming to commit to crafting cards. Yeah, wizards. You would think they would still try to change course on what they said years ago, which is we don't want to find a dusting mechanic, i.e. a way to craft away commons and uncommons to make rare wildcards. I mean, at this point, there's so many cards in the game right now, and almost everybody ends up getting duplicates upon duplicates upon duplicates of cards, like across various formats because of the reprintings from other sets. So it's kind of annoying. You just get a collection of stuff that you just can't even do anything with. So it's kind of a shame. And that's something that they need to fix because it's absolutely silly at this point. They still allow that to happen. Daniel, have you taken a look at Lila Combo and Explore? Good question. I haven't had a chance to look at that yet. I mean, I'm honestly right now backed up on like 4 or 5 decks. Like, literally, I'm already editing Monday's deck tonight and tomorrow night. And at the same time, I already have myself prepared to record the next video after that. So it's something I can look into, but it's probably going to be backed up for quite a bit. I mean, still, I'm trying to look at cards from Foundations and Duskmourn that I haven't yet had a chance to touch yet. But it is them there. Ooh, opponent's playing Deadly Cover-Up. That's annoying. But again, it's not the worst. We still have ways of getting around this. We still have alternatives here. Okay, opponent's playing Break the Light, up the Beanstalk, that stupid thing. The whole board gets blown up, though, so that means our opponent's cards also get destroyed. So most likely they're going to try to pull out either the last Greasefang or something else, like our Parhelion. Either way. Alright, what do you get, opponents? Wait, what do they take? Okay, they took away the Greasefang? Is that what they exiled from us? Okay, come on, opponent. Okay. Okay, so they did steal all of our Greasefangs, which is annoying, but it's not the worst. We still have ways of finding options around that. So in the meantime, though, let's get out... I guess I'll just get out a forest. Last one. Alright, let's see. How do we get around this? We duress. Let's see what else our opponent's holding on to because they have an annoying deck. I don't know. I'm just never a fan of cheating anything out for free. It's just not my thing. Okay, we'll throw away the Abrupt Decay. Since they already have 2 Leyline Bindings, I can't really do much with. Sky Sovereign. No real value yet. And unfortunately, our opponent does know our whole hand, so... we'll see. Can we get around this? Is there a way out of this? Opponents? Okay, Omnath again. We'll draw a card. Do they get landfall triggers with it? They take our own Rathian's Informant, which is annoying. If we could just get at least one creature out and then just start doing our swings, maybe, just maybe, we have a way out of this. But without Greasefang, it gets very, very tough for us to pull this off. Ideally, if we had at least a Professor of Symbology, that at least would help us pull something out of the graveyard. I'm sorry, actually out of our sideboard to help us win. But otherwise, let's see. Broodheart Engine. And Rathian's Informant. We'll throw away Parhelion. Not for much of any value. Sky Sovereign. We swing. Take out our own Informant. Hit him down to 4. So, we're still in range. But they still have so much removal. Yeah. Up the beanstalk. Who would have thought a simple little Draft Chaff 2-mana enchantment would be such a pain in the butt for the format? I mean, the fact that they're able to cheat so many things out, but it still triggers off because it checks the mana value, not how much mana you're spending. It's just such an annoying card. Alright, come on, opponents. I mean, I'm wide open for a hit here, but I don't know what else they can do. Our only saving grace right now is maybe the Valor Flagship. Okay. Opponent here is going to blow up. Is it Sky Sovereign that's going to get blown up? Yep. Alright. So, they bring in Yorion. Alright. Grizzly Salvage. We don't need that right now. Let's see. What do we do here? Oh, wait. Hold on. I think I actually have an option here. Wait. Wait. Oh, wait. I don't know if that'll work, actually. Let us... Thundering Broodwagon. Gain some life. Why don't we blow up, though? We can get rid of the Omnath. They have another one anyway, so it doesn't really help. Okay, I guess Up the Beanstalk goes away. And then we will play Dredger's Insight. Mill some more. And then what do we get here? I guess Salvation Engine? Gain some more life. Back up. No attacks yet. Pass. Well, I'm honestly surprised we're still alive in this match. I wasn't expecting us to live this long. All things considered. Okay. Well, can we still find a way out of this? Find out soon. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Red land for opponent. They get to make all the mana in the world. But they can't draw any more cards right now. At least unless they play their other things. They have 2 Leyline Bindings. So that's going to be the first one. Annoying, by the way. So what do they get rid of? Alright, Leyline Binding. Okay. It's fine. We're still some way, somehow in this. I'm expecting the second Leyline Binding to come down on us soon. And then from here, I think our next option is Fatal Push away that Omnath. Okay, so somewhat clear, but not quite yet. Wait, how much land do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, dang. If we have one more, we can actually could hard cast Parhelion. I can also do the Valor's Flagship too. Okay, so our opponent is going to do their Blinky Blinks. At least with just one card. Okay. Do they blow up anything? Yep, one of our insights. So we can't gain as much life. That's okay. Ooh, okay. This might be helpful. Let's see. Parhelion. Hard-casted. No attacks yet. So I'm guessing if our opponent's going to do it, they're going to probably Playline Binding the Parhelion if we try to turn it on. Wow, this is actually the slowest Greasefang battle I've ever had. Vanishing Bird. Oh, jeez. Of course, they have all the removal in the world. Beyond annoying. Alright, Omnath again. Okay. Man, so close to seeing if we can pull off something here. But we're hanging on. I don't know how, but we are. Okay, so let's see. Salvation Engine. And we pass. Yeah, okay, so Fatal Push cannot get rid of Yorion. We can get rid of the next Omnath still, but it's just not enough. If they then try to then utilize Leyline Binding right now, we can Fatal Push away the Omnath, but we're still down. Yeah, the deck has never-ending removal for what it has. Alright. We've missed it again. We can Fatal Push away one Omnath. But they keep refueling, so it just never ends. Yeah. I don't know how I can fight this deck at this point. I'm trying. But they just have way too many options. Oh, they just got another Wrath too? Oh, jeez. Alright. I think I might call it after this one swing here. Even if I can play the Valor's Flagship, it's not enough. And they just blew up our last option there. So, dang. Professor of Symbology. So, let's see. I guess from here, we can then Containment Breach. Okay, so let's see. Containment Breach. And blow up one Leyline Binding. Take out there. And then, yeah, just not enough. We tried. Dang. Well, Budget Greasefang is not holding it down. Wow. We did not do well there. Sadness. It's okay. We tried, though. Even without Greasefang, the deck still can hold its own for a certain amount of time before we just kind of get blown up there. But it kind of gives me an idea of what I can add to the deck later on. Okay, so we'll play one more, at least with the budget version, and I'm going to actually jump to a non-budget version of the same deck. We'll see if maybe a much more expensive build can actually pull off some stuff. Dense Planet. Up the Beanstalk is really getting getting to be banned. Honestly, it's such an annoying card. Yeah. Again, I never would have thought the simple little 2-mana uncommon would have been that mad. So, yeah, who would have thought? Beans. No one likes beans. But okay, we're shaking it off. This one, I feel, should be the win. This is going to be the win, everybody. Watch right here. We can do it. I believe in us. All right, opponent. Show me what you got. So we'll keep this hand, because we do have 2 Greasefangs. We have the Parhelion. All we just got to do is just throw it into the graveyard, and we should be good to go here. Some light removal is great. All right, opponent is playing Zerda. Wow, everyone I'm facing today has some kind of companion card. Very interesting. But otherwise, Escape Tunnel to start, and we'll pass. Okay, so what you got, opponents? Okay, Sea Chrome Coast. Enigma Jewel. Okay. Is it kind of some kind of artifact shenanigans? I guess we'll see in a bit. So, I think we'll get a swamp here. Yeah, Beanstalk is really, really bad. But hopefully maybe Wizards will respond to it someday. We'll see. All right, Collector's Vault. Okay, so it looks like they're going all in on artifacts, so our Fatal Pushes don't get a chance to do much, but that's okay. In the meantime, Forest, and we'll pass here. We just need one way to throw out a Parhelion, and this can be a very easy win for us. Okay, opponent's going to start making their treasures, so they're getting their ramp on. Yeah, Enigma Jewel can be very expensive. Or a powerful card. Okay, they shock themselves. What are you casting, opponents? Anything at all. Omen Hawker. Okay. So, they're going to just try to start using ability shenanigans here, but Omen Hawker goes away with a Fatal Push. So at least we can take care of that. Just get a Reanimator from Standard, by the way. Okay. We got a Duress. We're still not getting what we need to dump these vehicles in, but let's get a peeky peek at what our opponent's trying to do here. All right. What do we got? All right. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Okay, Supreme Verdict. We'll deal with that. Okay, so that's good. We at least got rid of that. It seems a little preemptive to put down Greasefang now, but we'll see if our opponent actually tries to counterspell that with the crab. Do they? Daniel, there just isn't good space in the color pie to give every deck a way to defend against cheap enchantments. I mean, yeah, you're right. And again, coming from a person that, for me, oh yeah, they did counterspell it. That's okay though. That's why we have at least an extra Greasefang. So we emptied our opponent's hand completely. They're out of cards. So that's kind of good for us. Buys us time. But yeah, I agree, Daniel. Unfortunately, because also I'm a red player primarily, and red has no options for enchantments unless if you go like really, really janky. And by the time you go that janky, honestly, red should be winning the match or getting blown up. Either way. As far as other colors, I mean, every other color has other ways. Blue has counter spells, but sometimes you don't always have it in hand. Green can also blow up enchantments. So can white. So can black, by the way. But yeah, not much love there for the others. Ooh, okay. So we got our Professor, which is great. So this will help us throw away Parhelion, which is what we want to do. And then our hand, throw away the Parhelion, draw a card, another Parhelion. Fatal Push away the Omen Hawker, so they can't do shenanigans. Okay, blown up. All right, so we should be good to go, at least get one victory here. We just need to get Greasefang down next turn, get our Parhelion in, and just smash our way. Come on, deck. We just got to believe. Okay, opponent. 2 cards in hand. What do you got? Is there anything you have? You can actually even blow up that Professor, and I don't honestly really care right now. All I just need to do is get Greasefang down. Come on, tap out. Tap out. Okay, they are doing their tapping. Collector's Vault. Drawn a card. They will discard a card. Make a treasure. So they have right now 4 mana open. It still is a little risky, but we did come here to do Greasefang shenanigans. So come on. Come on, give me this. It's all I wanted today. Let me reanimate some giant flying... I don't even know what this is. Giant flying fortress with angels. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, come on. Alright, it does turn on. Nice. We swing here. Make some angels. Did we close this game out? This will put our opponent down to a what? 3? Wandering Emperor. Ugh. Boo. Absolutely terrible. So unfortunately our opponent will exile away our Greasefang. Oh boy. But we still put a lot of pressure on our opponent here because they're still going to have to take the hit no matter what. So they go down to 5. 2 swings with the Angels, and Wandering Emperor... Actually, hold on. We can just blow up everything. But if I'm guessing right now, our opponent is going to try to immediately Maze Mind's Tome next turn, if out of desperation, if they need to then gain life. Watch. Yep. They did it. So that means, unfortunately, they gain 4 life back, so they're back at 9. I mean, technically, we still have lethal. But what we need right now is another board threat just to make sure that we can stop anything else they have. Then Splendets. Yeah, maybe a weird take, but control decks can be made on a budget and can be strong as well. Like Poison route seems to be, in my opinion, a solid start for deck building, but that's just me. Actually, you are correct on that one. If you want to make, right now, a cheap control deck, you can definitely do it with maybe like Dimir Poison. It is definitely doable. And I've actually shown several times over the course of this channel, over the course of several years, you can actually also put together Azorius control on a budget. I've even been able to pull it off on the tightest of budgets of not using any rares or mythics. So it is definitely doable. Although you will have to be a little bit more creative to pull that off. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we do have another Greasefang, which is great. So we're not dead yet. We top decked a second Greasefang. Wow. We're kind of getting actually a little bit of lucky here. But okay, even if our opponent has anything else, we should be able to blow them up here. What else do you have, opponent? Come on, you cannot have another... Okay, they have a Naganto. So they blow up one Angel. We're push them down to 3. Oh boy. Come on, deck. All I just need is again. Just give me this. Please, opponent. You got to be out of fuel by now. Daniel, but red only has speed. I mean, yes, red has speed, but it's still the weakest color currently, at least in the game, in my opinion, because I mean, again, red's advantage is speed, but sometimes I would say right now there's way too many cards in other colors that kind of slow red down completely. So I don't know. I don't know how we make red a little bit more fair. Like, green right now has gotten a ridiculous amount of power buff over the course of the past couple of years. Another color that also got a lot of buff is white. They now have a lot of good card draw, which is great for them, but it kind of poo-poos a little bit on what we're doing. Okay, well, our opponent is playing Teferi now. They made their treasure. They're going to probably tap Teferi so that way they can untap some lands, or at least probably that Enigma Jewel, and we'll see. Is that enough? They have one card left in hand. They can't possibly have anything else that blows up all of our stuff. They can't. This has to be the victory here. Okay, they make the Samurai. Okay, but we still have a couple flyers. Oh, okay. I think we got it with this. Escape Tunnel. We will make it so this way our symbology is unblockable. So this pushes the final points of damage through. That's it. That has to be the win. That has to be. I mean, what is it? They have right now all this. They can't possibly have anything else. Oh, come on. Really? They had Otawara? Ugh. Ugh. Okay, so they can block still with Greasefang there. Down to 3. I can't believe it. Wow, our opponent's still fighting. Fighting. But for what it's worth, that Escape Tunnel did actually pay off. Very niche to have that secondary ability be used, but it actually still kept pressuring our opponent there. Okay, they still have only one card in hand, though. So let's see. Can we finally close this out? Oh, so close. But that's Azorius for you. So annoying. Let's see, Daniel, always thought that Parhelion 2 is like a spaceship. Yeah, I mean, it kind of does look like a little bit of a spaceship. And it's like a flying fortress thing. It does, I mean, I kind of like the idea. It's a little goofy, though, but I like what it kind of does. It just keeps spitting out angel after angel. Okay, opponent managed to gain some life. They can't make any more tokens. Well, if they make a token, that means they sacrifice the Wandering Emperor. Oh, wow, they actually take up? Oh, why? Interesting. Okay. So, here's how we do this. Professor. So, we hit learn. We will... What do we do here? Huh. They have enough for a Wandering Emperor, so I think... What do we get here? This is actually a tricky one. If I get Containment Breach, I can blow up that Enigma Jewel, but I don't think that's the right play. On the other hand, Expanded Anatomy pumps up one of our creatures, gives it Vigilance, so a second Wandering Emperor will not affect it. Let's get the Expanded Anatomy. Let's put it on Greasefang. Alright, come on. If it's another Wandering Emperor, we should be able to get around it right now. Okay. 6/5 with Vigilance. Unless if they have something else in hand, there's no way they can stop this right here. Come on. Is that game? Please tell me that's game. Oh, can't tell me you have something else in hand, opponent. Can't be another land or anything. Oh, they have a Shark Typhoon? Jeez. They somehow still got around us. Ugh. Oh, I hate Azoria so much right now. So many options. They had a get lost. Oh, come on. No. I just want to get one win with this deck today. Man. Beyond frustrating right now. Okay. Opponent is still some way in this. I can't believe it. Still some way in this. Okay. Okay. Dance Planet. I might send a deck idea for Budget Dimir Poison on Discord like very little rares, and maybe make one that is upgradable as well. I'll send that list later. Okay. Yeah, definitely check that out. And again, as a friendly reminder for everybody, if you haven't already done so, you can join our Discord of Fiery Friends right now, as we're continually keep growing and we're getting a lot more and fun interactions and more people that do want to talk about the game. Even if you don't want to talk about the game, you can always chat about whatever you want on the Discord. If you haven't already seen it, the link has, of course, in the chat. So check that out if you are interested. Let's see, Dredger's Insight. So, okay. Some way, somehow, our opponent is still fighting the fight here. But okay. Greasefang, number 3. Okay. Come on, deck. Okay. We will push through damage here. We have to keep the pressure on. Double block. All right. Again, they still have one card in hand. I don't know what else they have. But we at least have Greasefang now out. We just need to find a way to throw a Parhelion into the yard, and we should be able to hopefully close out the game now. But they got 2 cards again. So, I'm being so tilted right now. Still doing their card draw shenanigans. Wow. Their Collector's Vault definitely has been putting in work. Way more than I thought. Let's see. Daniel, I mean, the profile for Parhelion 2 reminds me of the battle cruisers from StarCraft, which, yeah, calling them Flying Fortresses is fair too. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I didn't think about that actually for a moment. Dan Splunnet. Headcanon about Parhelion 2. It's a magical variant of real-life aircraft carriers, but this is a literal flying fortress that sends out angels instead of jets. I mean, yeah, I guess that's basically the whole premise of it is just this literal flying fortress that, in the world of course Magic, they don't have fighter jets, so that's basically their angels. It's still a cool concept. I do like it, though. But we are going to actually be getting actual spaceships in the game by summer, which Edge of Eternities. I don't know about you, but I'm actually excited for that. I know some people are not excited for basically space MTG, but me personally, I look forward to it. All right, so how do we do this here? Okay, so Broodheart Engine. I don't know what their final card is. We have Greasefang here and now. We have to still find a way around this. I really would like to get to now our budget deck, but our opponents have literally slowed us down. This is like the slowest set of Greasefang matches I've had. Okay. There we go. There we go. Thank you for the map tokens, opponents. We were able to throw into there what we needed. There we go. I think that's finally victory, everybody. Valor's flagship coming in. We turn it on by crewing it. I swear, if our opponent has another spot removal, I'm going to vomit. There we go. Finally. Woo! Oh my god, it took me like an hour plus to get into that, but oh my goodness, we finally did it. There we go. Victory, everybody. Nice. Very nice. Oh man. Wow, that was a grind. Our opponent pushed us so hard there, but we finally got a victory with it, at least on a budget. So it is definitely doable on a budget, but man, that match was tough. Okay, so we're going to mix it up now for the second part of it. We'll play the upgraded version. So if you're interested, again, I will leave links for both. The upgraded one realistically just gives us a much more stronger mana base overall, which is definitely what the deck can utilize. but it's still doable on a budget. The only other major changes, aside from what you see from here on this, is the sideboard here will get a light upgrade here. So the light upgrade is just going to be Debris Beetle here. Debris Beetle is another rare that you can add into it. It's a 6/6 trampler, which is actually great damage. It only accrues for 2. So even if, say, you utilize your Raffian's Informant or Professor of Symbologies, they have a crew cost that can actually afford to then crew up Debris Beetle. The reason why you want this one specifically is when this vehicle enters, you basically drain your opponent for 3 and gain 3 life. So this is, again, for some of those rarer matchup types where destroying something doesn't help you, but you want to still drain out your opponent and stabilize. So that's why we're going to throw those in there for this version of the upgrades. Okay, but otherwise, we're going to go now fully upgraded and see how well this does. All right, feeling good here. Come on, deck. We definitely feel like Greasefang has what it takes. Also, as we're now passing, of course, the halfway point of the stream, as a friendly reminder, if you do like any of the content we do, whether you are continually enjoying us as a longtime viewer, or you're a brand new viewer, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, as always, be sure to give a like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, live streams, deck techs, and so much more. We appreciate any and all support that you have given us for those of you that are watching. So thank you for all of you out there. I really appreciate all of you. Okay, so with that, now that I got my little shilling out of the way, let's see what we got here. Parhelion, Professor, all right. Grizzly Salvage. Okay, this is a solid hand here. We don't have Greasefang, but we could definitely dig into it with what we got. Put down our Swamp. Fatal Push is ready to go if we need to blow up something. And, yeah, this is solid. So one of the major advantages, of course, of having a better mana base like this is now we can actually cast things a lot faster. So, Razor Verge Thicket. We will, let's see, Professor of Symbology. We will learn, but we will put into the graveyard our Parhelion. Draw a card. Okay, opponent, show me what you got.
It's time to
do. Den Splinter. Imagine fighting against legions of angels. Seems like a nightmare. Well, actually, real life angels are actually, or at least real biblical angels are actually a little freaky, by the way. Not like those angelic ones that we get in the game, but I mean like the actual ones from like if you actually read about them, they're pretty out there. Just FYI. Okay, our opponent they got Momentum Breaker, so that blew up our card, but that's not a big deal. We don't really care. We're just trying to now dig for what we need. So we're gonna mill some bit here. Okay, we got let's bring in the Concealed Courtyard. So at least this way we still have an option to Fatal Push we need to in a pinch. See, as a fellow red player, at this point, I just concede the moment I see a combination of colors. Blue and white is prison worthy. Yeah, maybe I should probably be doing that myself, but sometimes I'm a little glutton for punishment. Sometimes I have managed to pull off some victories against blue-white, but it really just depends. But I don't blame you for just wanting to just say, I quit, because it sucks. So, do what you gotta do. Okay, so what do we do here? They're Demir, and they got also the speed. So we will play Dredger's Insight. If they counterspell it, it is what it is. But I'm just trying to figure out what our opponent's trying to do here. Okay, so we'll mill some more. Oh, there we go. We got the Greasefang, so that's great. Get that back into our hand. Get some life. Okay, opponent. All right, cool. All right, Entity Tracker. And then we can't Fatal Push that just yet. That's okay. We do have a Raider Triumph, so that's okay. We can still get rid of that. Let's see. Dense Blood. Imagine fighting... Yeah. Oh, I just already read that. Debris Beetle might make me want to cook something with Abzan Greasefang finally. Ooh, okay. Well, hopefully that inspires you. I think the Beetle might also be something I might use for a future deck tech with something else. As I mentioned earlier, once we saw that we're getting an uncommon set of little mini Siege Rhinos from Tarkir, I had to think that there has to be a way, maybe we can blink all of the Rhinos to do a bunch of damage, and then just kind of mass life gain and drain our opponent. So I'm thinking of that right now, but the Beetle technically does the same thing too. So I'm going to consider it an honorary Rhino. We'll see if we can try to cook up something with that soon. I'm super excited for that. But man, it's still going to be a little ways away. Hopeless Nightmare. Alright, so basically our opponent here has brought in the Demir The Dimir bounce package from the standard deck. Okay, so our opponent is going to make us throw away something. That's not a big deal for us. We want stuff in the yard. What do we throw away, though? I think we'll throw away Raffine's Informant. Okay. Opponent goes up to second gear, if you will. And they got a pretty beefy creature here. But we do have Bitter Triumph. Okay, so here's how we do this. We will pay the 3. Get rid of that. Let's get a peeky peek at their hand. This does mean we're going to lose a lot of life, but it is what it is to get what we need out. So let's see. What do we do here? Oh, now. Opponent's got a ton of removal and discard against us here. But what do we get rid of, though? I guess it's the Liliana. That hurts us the most. So, let's see. If our opponent taps out here, then we could throw down Greasefang. That's what we're hoping for now. Come on, deck. Entity Tracker again. Okay, that's fine. Okay, Bandit's Talent. That's actually okay, too. So now our opponent has forced us to tap out. Or, I'm sorry, they have tapped out completely. But that's okay. Okay, they pump it up. Okay, we should be good to go here. Greasefang coming down. We bring in... Okay, why do we do this here? I want to bring in Salvation Engine, but we can't crew it anyway. So Parhelion coming in. There we go. Gain some life back. We turn on our Parhelion. Here come the Angels. Much better. Down to 3 opponents. Okay. Oh, clock is ticking. Okay, so we have another Grizzly Salvage anyway, and we can block with our Angels, so we are in a good spot here. Cataxian Puppeteer. Let's do it again. Whenever you draw a card, they life gain and drain us. Okay, interesting. Momentum Breaker. Okay, that's fine too. This does mean they get a little bit of pump and stuff. We will lose 1 Angel. Not a big deal. That's fine. This isn't enough, though, against us, though, so I think we should be fine. Okay, they swing. I guess we'll take the hit. We just need at least 5 points of damage at their face. Okay, so here's how we do this here. Cycle away Thundering Broodwagon, because that's beautiful. Trio. We bring back the... Actually, we don't even need the Broodwagon. We'll just get Parhelion. There we go. There we go. Much better. Much better. Very, very nice there. That's how you want the deck to work. Much, much nicer there. Okay, so the upgrades definitely gave us a lot more flexibility and ease of casting things, so I'm happy about that. All right, take for a ride. That's great. And then we'll jump back into the next match. Let's see, Daniel. Decree battle might make me want to cook something. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. Siege Rhino as a vehicle to recycle in and out with Greasefang is a big yes, please. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I'm thinking of right now. Is either that or, I don't know. But I definitely want to do something with those cards. Daniel, also, what's the Dimir discard package without Waste Not? Good question, though. So the package right now, I believe, is... What they try to do is they try to bounce things back and forth. Those small little enchantments like Hopeless Nightmare and whatnot, they try to keep bouncing them back and forth for additional value. So it gets a little annoying because technically it feels like they have extra cards in hand because they can keep recycling the same stuff. I would assume I'm not sure what the Dimir version is different versus the Esper version. Because we put together a while ago an Orzhov one that splashed for blue a couple weeks ago when the deck got super, super hot in Standard. Toadstool Admirer. Oh, okay. Our opponent, I guess, are going to start putting enchantments on Toadstool Admirer. All right. Bring it on, opponents.
It's time to do.
All right, Swamp. And what do we do here? We will play Raffine's Informant. So for this match, maybe it might be better to actually get that Valor's Flagship instead. Okay. So we do now have Raffine's Informant pumped. We have a Blooming Marsh, which is great. We just need a way to get rid of that Toadstool Admirer, and we should be fine. Dance planets. Check this corner under Explorer. Sent the list there. Okay, nice. Appreciate that. Okay, so opponent's got Light Paws here, so we cannot afford to have that survive. So that's got to go now. Sorry, opponents. Can't have that survive. Dredger's Insight. Mill, mill, mill. What do we bring back? I guess we'll bring back another Professor. Get some life. Swing here. Get some early game damage to soften him up. So from this, we can throw away Parhelion also. We just need to get Greasefang. We get Greasefang and we should be good to go here. Okay, Light Paws again. Or maybe I should have waited until they actually started getting stuff added, and then I should have blew it up. Either way. All right, Kaya's on there. All right. Okay. Oh, nice. We actually got the Greasefang off the top again. Wow, we're getting so much good luck with that. Okay. Get some life. We will then turn our Valor's flagship, and we will swing. There we go. May not be Parhelion, but that life gain will keep us alive a little bit longer. So that's actually nice for us. Okay, opponent. Glade Cover Scout. Will they run out of steam, though? That's what we're wondering with our opponent here. Sheltered by Ghosts. Come on, opponents. Boo. That's not fun. Alright, so Sheltered by Ghosts will get rid of Greasefang. Okay. Well, we're not dead. We still got at least maybe a turn at best. But, let's see. Concealed Courtyard. We will... Okay, How do we do this? I guess Professor Symbology. Okay, so with that, we will get... I don't know what we'll get here. Environmental science. Well, I think Necrotic Fumes and Professor Symbology again. This time we will discard Parhelion. Draw a card. Okay. No attacks. Okay, so if we get rid of that Light Paws, we might have a shot here. We have 2 sets of removal. So that's what we're trying to at least fight our way through. But man, our opponents got themselves stacked up here very quickly here, and it's beyond annoying. Okay, they also got Flying Fox now. All right. Okay. Swing it away. They only did 1, though, so that does give us some time. All right, so let's see. We will discard the Thoughtseize. This does mean that Kaya brings it back, but we also have Necrotic Fumes, so... And we will sacrifice 1 Professor. Okay, so Light Paws is completely clear off the board, but we still have a Toadstool Admirer we got to deal with. Saram. Okay. We still have time. We can still do this. Parhelion again. Okay. Pass. So I think what we're going to do is we'll try to see if we can get Valor's flagship either down, or we're going to see if we can try to get a land. One or the other. We need something. Come on, deck. This is actually where I need a land. I need a land. Come on. Okay, Grizzly Salvage. That's not horrible. All right. There we go. Got Greasefang again. Much better. Greasefang coming back. There we go. Much better. All right. Swinging with that. And there you go, everybody. Victory again. Nice. Woo! All right. Just imagine you just upgrade a couple of lands and all of a sudden you get a much better result with this. But now... All right, all right. Now the wins are coming in. Okay. That's it. Okay, so your deck has 2 rares and 2 mythic rares. Okay. That's actually really, really cheap, by the way. So very impressive. I'll check that out a little bit later on when I can. Daniel, question. Do you think there might be a spot for Flip Urabrask and Explorer? Oh, you're talking about the Urabrask where, you know, you cast it, what is it, you I think it's, is it three instants or sorceries, and then you could flip it, and then it does the Wrath? Because if you're asking for that, we actually put that together a couple years ago already now at this point. Actually, a year and a half? Yeah, or 2 years ago. So if you're curious about that, we actually put that together a little while ago. I'll see if I can dig that out again. It's been a while, so maybe the list is outdated, but we do have a variant of it that we actually put together. I actually put together a whole deck on. So it does exist. But I would say the best option is probably to then look at what is new since that came out. Okay, Lush Porcito. We'll hold on to that. Okay, so let's see. What is playing Ingenious with? Okay, so they're playing artifacts. They're definitely digging for artifacts. Huh. Oh, Metalwork Colossus. Okay, okay. Our opponent here is going to try to start getting a little cheeky with making stuff bigger. Shadowy Backstreet, number 2. We'll throw away the Valor's flagship, so that's at least one vehicle in the graveyard. All right, come on. Bring it on, opponents.
It's time to
Show me what you got.
duel.
Okay, nothing yet. Professor of Symbology. Lush Portico. Oh, it's Portico, actually. Okay. We'll keep the Bitter Triumph. We will then... Professor of Symbology. This time, however, we will get out Containment Breach because they're going to be playing artifacts, so that does give us at least an option against them. Clay-Fired Bricks. So that helps them dig out a land. This can flip if they craft, but I don't think they're going to craft with it. So we'll see how that goes. Dredger's Insight. Opponents. Opponents. Okay. Mill. We will get back Triome. Play the Triome. And we swing. A little damage, down to 20. Okay, opponents. We got a full hand still. Daniel, well, I'm thinking that for starters, there's an artist talent, main support for Red Storm like Urabrask. Oh, that's right. Huh. I haven't thought about that one. That actually sounds kind of cool. I'll see if I can look at that, because I actually haven't had a chance to play with artist talent. I mean, this is also kind of what I was mentioning earlier, which is there's so many really cool ideas that I have and ideas that are kind of partially built, but I don't have enough time to put them all together. But that is something that maybe I might look at again in the future. So I'll have to look again to see what we have. Okay, so let's see. I'm guessing our opponent's going to try to do some shenanigans with Metalwork Colossus here, but we'll see. Let's see. In the meantime, Grizzly Salvage. Throw away stuff. Okay, we didn't get much but Blooming Marsh, so I guess I'll take it. Better than nothing, I suppose. And we swing again. Down to 18. Okay, opponents. I can see what you're trying to do here. Metalwork Colossus is going to be coming in for way cheaper, but we can blow it up once it's out. So let's see if they have a way around us. Maybe. We'll see. Do they play it? All right. Let's see. Oh, we don't really care about that. So this will slow down damage-wise, but we don't care too much about that. All right. So with that, we will literally discard a card. Sorry, opponents. Throw away that. Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot. They can counterspell it. Oh, that's so annoying. Oops. Whoops. I made a mistake there. Oops. I tooted that one out. Okay. All right. It's okay. It's okay. We still have a way around it. So, Bitter Triumph. We'll pay the 3 life this time. So it's going to go now. Maybe. Opponents. Okay. There we go. And with that, swing in here. Come on, deck. We need another way of getting out our stuff. Down to 17, by the way. I think I might have to blow up that shield here. That's going to be very annoying for us to get around. Then Split, we need like craft themed deck, but it's probably going to be jank that could be funny. You know, I wanted to like the craft mechanic a lot. I really did. But it just seems way too expensive and too clunky for a lot of decks. I feel crafting is better for brawling. So for brawl and commander decks, crafting, you have plenty of time to craft. But it just doesn't feel like it works very well in 60 card. It just feels like it's too slow. Alright, Fate will push away the gnome. Okay, opponents. Do you have another answer? Oh, they do. Metallic Rebuke. Okay, annoying. That's fine. Oh, wait. I don't know why I paid that. Well, I guess it doesn't matter anyway. Okay, in any case, we will... What do we get rid of here? Alright. We'll destroy the shield, because that's got to go. Beyond annoying at this point. That'll work clauses. Okay. So they do bring it in. We don't get to do much now. No attacks yet. Come on, deck. Still waiting on something here. Voyage home. All right. They get some life. Draw some cards. Another shield. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, we're looking a little scary here. I don't know. Not looking too hot now. I mean, I can block this, but that literally only buys us one turn. Okay. Opponent's kind of now overrun us, and we don't have anything else. Yeah, we're done. I just wanted to see what else they had in hand, but that's pretty much it. Yeah. Dang. Opponent got us on this one. Tinker's Tote. Okay. And with that, we concede. Dang. Their artifact deck got us. Completely got us there. Sadness. That's okay, though. We'll skip that. Okay. I mean, we've gotten quite a few wins now with the deck, so it's not like it's like been absolute terrible for us. So I'm still satisfied with how things have turned out. So we'll just kind of keep on trucking along. Let's see, Daniel. Artist talent is what put Urbrask in standard map again, even if it isn't more than a tier 2. Huh. I guess I haven't noticed. I should probably look into that. We'll definitely check that out later on. Probably over the weekend when I have a little bit more time. So, for those that are unaware right now we're at what I'm going to say the 30-minute mark for our stream. Or I'm sorry, the 30 minutes before we are completely done. Now, as always, as much as I love to stream, unfortunately, we just don't have all the time in the world to do it. So usually I will do short streams. And the reason for that is I, of course, have to worry about my big boy job, which actually pays the bills. So if you want to help me out a little bit here, and don't ask it too much often, but you're able to, if you want to be a true fiery friend, we do have a Patreon where I throw up all of my bonus gameplay footage that doesn't make it to YouTube. So if you want to check that out, $3 a month is all I ask. But even if you cannot do that, we definitely, of course, still appreciate your support by just checking out any of our videos and any of our streams at any given time. So thank you overall for that regardless. All right, so in the meantime, enough of that shilling. We'll then keep this hand. We don't have black yet, but we can build into it. So we'll play a forest and we'll see what our opponent is trying to do.
It's time to do.
Show me what you got, opponents. Say, so, planes, Dredger's Insights, start milling away. Mill. Okay, so with that, we will get Greasefang. So at least for sure, now we have Greasefang waiting in the wings. We just need to get some lands, some vehicles, and we should be solid here. Ooh, alright, so they're doing some life gain and drain shenanigans on their end with Vengeful Brood. What's it? Blood Witch? Blood Witch, yes. Words are hard, by the way. Words are hard. Okay. Dredger's Insight, number 2. Come on, we need land. Give me a land. Okay, that's the land. Not the best land, but we'll take it. Underground Mortuary. We will, let's see. I guess we'll keep the Raffine's Informant. Because we're going to need to double it up to get Parhelion into the yard twice. Okay, opponent will swing at us. Nothing yet in the yard. That's okay. So, let's see. They Deadly Dispute. Okay. So it looks like it's going to be some Rakdos shenanigans with some life gain and drain. sacrificing for value. Totally my style of deck, by the way, but not today. Okay, so how we do this here? Bitter Triumph. We destroy their Blood Witch. Throw away the Parhelion. Opponents. Opponents. Do you have another answer? Oh, they do sacrifice it. All right. I mean, that's fine. I mean, at least we didn't lose life on that one, so that wasn't a big deal for us. Either way, we still got what we needed into the yard. Hellspur Posse Boss. Oh, I haven't seen this used in quite a while, so... Okay. Rogues? Interesting. Okay. Either way, we have come here for one thing and one thing only. So we're going to be doing that right now, as soon as they surveil. Ooh, okay, we got another Greasefang. So... this gives us at least the insurance we need right now to do this. Okay, so Greasefang number 1. Nice. Do they have an answer? Opponents? Ooh, they do have an answer. Okay. Maybe? Don't keep me waiting, opponents. They do have it. All right, they got the Fatal Push. It's fine. We still have another Greasefang ready to go. 10 Splendid. I'm sorry, hold on. Actually, Daniel first. Red Cat had some videos about that, so it can be a podcast investigation. Okay, interesting. Oh, okay, so our opponent is playing Outlaws. So it's an Outlaw sacrifice deck. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so here's how we do this. Greasefang again. We still get our Parhelion, by the way. Get some life back. Oh, man. Dredger's Insight is such an awesome card for this version of the deck now. Swing here. Sorry, opponent. We make a bunch of angels. Hitting you for a chunk. Down to 9. All right. So, we're back in this fight now. But, is it enough? Is it going to be enough here? I guess we'll find out. Does our opponent have more removal? Deadly Disputes. Okay. Drawing more cards. Cute little deck, by the way. We actually put together a nice little cheesy, cheap version of this last year. But I do like that some people are actually playing it, so I'm actually happy about that. Dense Planet. By the way, for rares in the Poison deck, I made that they are 2 copies of Deadly Cover-Up, 2 Vraska's Betrayals, and Sting. Okay. That's kind of cool, though. I like that you managed to find a way to cleverly create your own version of a cheap deck there, so I do like it. We'll block with 1 angel. So it will die. That's not a big deal for us. We're just trying to keep our life total high, because if they're going to start pinging us, we need to make sure we can get a little bit of life back. Okay, tap land. Ooh, Salvation Engine. All right, so Raffine's Informant. Okay, Connive. We will throw away the Parhelion again. And then I'm actually curious to see, what do they have? Anything that might hurt us or our game plan. Opponents? Ooh, okay. Did they have the Fatal Push? So they did have the Fatal Push. Okay. I figured they had to have something in hand, because there was no way we could have gotten a clean sweep on that one. So Vile Smasher goes. Okay, and then swing with our Angel. Down to 5. Okay. We're at 6. So let's see if we can find a way around this. Opponent's got 1 card in hand we don't know. Okay, what is it going to be? Oh, Daniel has a question. Question, why Dredger's Insight instead of Wayfinder Satyr? Good question on that one. So, Dredger's Insight, as you can see right here, this enchantment makes it hard to get rid of. And the reason why we want it on the field is it helps us gain life every time artifacts and anytime we bring back an artifact or creature card from the graveyard. So anything we get, it gives us life. And in matches like this, extra life here makes the big difference between surviving or not. So that's the reason why we're doing it that way. It has shown that it actually can help us gain just enough life to stabilize against decks like this. And you've seen it right now. It actually pays off very, very well, I must say. Grizzly Salvage. Okay. Well, we'll just mill all that.
Razorfish Thickets. And then Professor of Symbology. We will learn and get Environmental Science. Swing with our Angel. Down to 1. Okay, so... Okay. Next turn is win or lose. What will our opponent do? But yeah, so that's basically it. Dredger's Insight isn't a creature, so it's less likely to die to removal, and also provides us with at least some option to help us prevent getting blown up by like cards like this or decks like this. Okay, so in that case then, do it this way. Okay, down to 5. All right. Well, with that, Environmental Science gives us a little bit of life, and, well, there you go, everybody. Our opponent had enough there. So, victory once again. Very nice. All right. Still grinding out those wins. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so with that, let us continue on. Rambling Possum. So, yeah, just real quick on that one. For those of you that were unsure or don't know the difference on this one, I'll kind of show real quick, just an FYI. Just since some of you may need a little bit of a moment here to... Wait, hold on. Wait, huh? Do it this way. Wait, did I spell that wrong? Wait, hold on one second here. I can't find it for some reason. There it is. So, for some of you that are not aware... Okay, so just real quick before I continue on with the next one here. So the difference here, the question that Daniel, for those of you that were trying to visualize this, was, okay, so we have Dredger's Insight. This was the new card we added in. The original deck that utilized Greasefang had Satyr Wayfinder. Satyr Wayfinder here, well, it's not a bad card. It's a 1/1 that's 2 mana here. Easily blown up. It's a creature, so it doesn't really survive too long. At the very least, you could argue it's decent for chump blocking. It digs 4 cards deep, and then you can then put a land into your hand, and the rest goes into the graveyard. However, Dredger's Insight gives us a lot more flexibility because it also allows us to then look for artifacts, creatures, or lands, which is exactly what we have completely in this deck. So it helps us fix exactly what we need to put back into our hand. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, if an artifact or creature leaves the graveyard, we will gain 1 life. So this is great for us to, of course, stabilize. So good question on Daniel asking that right now. So this literally is, in my opinion, again, it's just a straight upgrade versus Satyr Wayfinder. But you technically can only argue that, again, it provides chump blocking for us. So again, it really depends. I could probably argue maybe a single copy left in Satyr Wayfinder, but realistically, Dredger's Insight is just better in my opinion. So good question on that one. Okay, now that we have that nice little lesson out of the way, let's go ahead, let's continue on. I think at this point we might be able to squeeze in 2 more matches, and that'll pretty much be it for today, everybody. I'm actually happy that all of you showed up for today. I know it wasn't like a super brand new fresh idea on any decks out there, but I did want to see Greasefang did get a lot of sweet new toys to play with here and a lot more stabilization that, in my opinion, makes it a lot better now in Abzan than before. I could argue that maybe Azeka's Chariot might be better to put back into the deck, but I haven't had a chance to kind of play around with that, at least for now. In any case, Concealed Courtyard. Right, Plains. Speaker of the Heavens. Okay, so our opponent here is... Okay, we have all the Greasefangs in the world right now, but we need some more artifacts. Let's see. So our opponent here, once they get out their key piece, I'm probably going to have to blow that up. Bishop of Wings. Okay. I don't think we can allow that to live, so that's going to have to go. We'll pay 3. Can't have Bishop of Wings start gaining a ton of life for them. The only awkward part is... Yeah, okay, so... Greasefang's got to go down now, even though it doesn't really do much value. Okay, Righteous Valkyrie. Nothing yet from our opponents, alright. We will... This is also why I love Thundering Broodwagon here. Maybe we should be playing more copies of this. Cycle it away. Draw a card. Thoughtseize. Let's see what they got. Get a peeky peek. Okay, so let's see. What do we don't want to deal with here? Okay, so I guess we'll throw away that other Righteous Valkyrie. This comes back. Blows it up. There we go. I didn't even have to crew this up. Our opponent was like, just didn't want to deal with that. Yes, I'll take that win. Woo! Yeah. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Ooh, we got a cute little achievement there. That's cute. Always get your dailies done, everybody. As a friendly reminder, 4 wins is all you need just to get the most amount of gold for the least amount of work. Okay, well, it actually was a lot faster than I thought it was going to be, so yay. I actually thought I was going to be able to have to outgrind them there, but I guess our opponent just did not want their angels getting blown up there. 10 Split. So what's the difference with Esper and Abzan variants of Greasefang? Oh, that's also a good question. Trying to remember what the Esper list I used to have years ago. Like, I think I put out Esper Greasefang, what was it, when Kamigawa first came out? So that was what now? Ooh, 3 years ago already? Wow, time flies. But the other version I had of it, it utilized, I think it was Faithful. Oh, wow, I can't remember right now. I'll see if I can talk about it maybe at the end of the video. For those of you that are unaware. So, the blue version gives you access to counter spells, so at least that version can help protect your game plan. It also gave you access to cards like, for example, you can see here Ledger Shredder, which technically allows you to then connive to then throw away your artifacts. You could also technically use was it a Faithful Remending, I believe that's the card. I can't remember it right now. It's the card that allows you, just like Faithless Looting, but for white, just draw cards and discard cards. And also you gain some light. So that was helpful for the budget version. So mostly just blue gives you access again just to those counter spells that you may need just to protect your game plan. That's mostly what it is. Let's see, you can still Courtyard. Let's see here. Graphene's Informant. Opponents. Nope. Okay, we'll connive. We will throw away the Valor's Flagship and pass. All right. What do you got, opponent? Show me what you got. The other major advantage you have with blue is you can use cards like Consider to help you draw cards while also surveilling stuff off the top. So you can do that too. But anyway, I mean, I think the Esper version ended up becoming the weakest version of Greasefang because at that point, Mardu became the much more viable option thanks to Mirror Breaker. That was the reason why Red took off. But if you want a budget version, go blue. That's probably the most budget. Although I could argue as of today, Abzan definitely got us a lot more options actually, which is actually kind of nice to have. Yeah, our opponent actually played what, Injury? Wow, I haven't seen anybody play this in forever. Wow, I totally forgot about this card. Okay, sure, opponents. I mean that's fine, I suppose, for us. Okay, Dredger's Insight. Opponents. Do you have an answer? Nope, nothing. Okay, that's cool. Mill. Mill in. We got a Blooming Marsh. Not quite what I wanted, but that's okay. I guess we can hit our land drops for sure. If it's one thing that I will say about this deck that kind of is nice is no matter what, at least you will always hit your land drops. I've yet to really stumble with mana with a Greasefang deck. So that's kind of one of those nice things about this deck. That's also true too. Esper also uses Raffine. So Raffine gives you kind of like a plan B to the deck. So you could argue that's a better safety valve in case if your opponent just keeps blowing up all of your artifacts. So take that how you will though. But I haven't seen anybody play Esper Greasefang in a while. It's mostly now either Abzan or Mardu. Because honestly, green gives you, and you can see today, green gives us a lot more better options for milling, and red gives you a lot more versatility. Daniel, red took off because the FOMO looting on ETB and the potential of multiple attack phases. Oh, that's right too. I keep forgetting about FOMO. I don't use Fear of Missing Out on any of the decks that we have, but it's definitely a powerful card. I greatly underestimated that during the preview season for Duskmourn. Very strong. Okay, so let's see here. Play the Blooming Marsh, and we'll pass. So once our opponent taps out, we can then Grizzly salvage a bunch of stuff, and let's see if we should be able to, in theory, dig out something. Okay, so our opponent looks like they're going to try to mill us here with Mind Skinner, so that's a little scary. Throw out the alarm for that. Be on the lookout. Don't want to get milled. Okay, Thundering Falls. Den Splendid. We need more uncommon tri-lands like Arena, example, like for Grixis or Esper colors. Well, honestly, I think we should be getting something from Tarkir, because Tarkir's focus is on 3-color clans. So hopefully we'll get something 3-color in the next set. At least that's how I see it's going to happen. It has to happen. Okay, so here we go. So we got our Greasefang. Nice. And we got the Parhelion in there. And just as a good measure, we'll salvage again. We got 2 Greasefangs. All right, we're set to go. All right, Forest down. Greasefang number 1. And then go right here. We will play Parhelion. Here come the angels. Turning it on. Down to 13. Down to 5. And actually the cherry on top, of course, is because this bounces away. Mind Skinner goes bye-bye. Oh, that was the dream right there. That's what you want the deck to do. All right, opponents. You've got 5 health, 5 life. Is there a way out of this for you? Ooh. Okay. Insult. All right. Are they going to hit us hard here with a big spell? Maybe. Okay, next spell. Damage can't be prevented. So what do you got? Oh. They just were like, you know what? I'll go out on my own terms. All right, respect for that one, opponent. Respect for that one, though. But okay, we'll take another win. And look at that. Oh, we ranked up. Nice. Very nice. We're now at Platinum Tier 3. Honestly, I wasn't even trying to rank up. I just wanted to just see how well we can do. Okay, so looking at the clock right now. I'm going to say right now, our next match will be our final one for today, everyone. And once again, thank you, everybody, for showing up for today's stream. I do appreciate that. Whether you're watching from any one of the platforms I'm streaming on right now, whether it's on Kick, X, Twitch, YouTube, yes, all of that I'm on right now, and Instagram. So shout out to any and all of you out there who have been watching, whether you've been chatting today like Daniel and Dense Planet, or even if you're not, I still appreciate you just having your eyes on what we're doing today. So thank you for that. Appreciate that, everybody. Okay, so here we go. Final one of the day. Win or lose. And then after this, we'll do a nice little wrap up of the deck. We'll evaluate it, talk about it. Maybe we might want to talk about tweaks to it. Since we're going to be doing this going forward now, where I'm going to do the first half of the stream a budget and the second half of the stream a non-budget deck, I think this gives us a fair evaluation of how the deck can look depending on whatever range you have. So this, of course, will help out any and all players that like the deck at any level. All right, so we're going to keep this because we got the Greasefang, Professor here, removal, and some milling. So this should be solid. This is pretty good for a hand here. Okay, Elvish Mystic. Our opponent did also mulligan a bit there, so that does help us out quite a bit. All right, we will play first off Triome, fixing our lands perfectly. Let's see, for Dense Planet, for common dual lands, our gain lands is the one with good option. One of the good options, or something else? In terms of the dual lands, it kind of depends on what you want to do. And I guess what I mean by that is, let's see, hold on one second here. Put down the thicket, and then we will Grizzly Salvage. We need to get a land. Okay. Not quite the land we wanted. So since we didn't get the land we wanted, we'll just get the Raffine's Informant. We need to make sure we can just dump stuff into the yard. But we got time. I think our opponent is playing Mono Green Devotion. Okay, plotting. All right, so we didn't get what we want in the yard just yet. So in order to do that, Raffine's Informant. We connive. Oh, okay, this is perfect. So throw away the Sky Sovereign. Fate will push away the Elvish Mystic, so that turns off Nykthos here. Sorry, opponents. This should be a quick and easy one right here. But yeah, if you're wanting to stabilize, like if you're playing a control deck or a mid-range deck on a super budget, the common dual lands that gain you life are probably your best option, Dense Planet. If you want something a little bit more aggro, the desert lands, I could argue, might be better for you, but it really just kind of depends on what your deck is doing. Okay, so our opponent is going pretty big here. Ugh. So it's a little scary, just a little scary, but that's okay. So here's how we do this. We'll play Greasefang. Shadowy Backstreet to Surveil again. All right, we'll throw away that extra land. And here we go again. The Flying Boat. So with this, we can't really hit too many things we would like to, but we'll see if we can try to push around. So let's see. What do we hit here? I guess we'll hit the bigger creatures. So Trailblader's gone. We turn on the Sky Sovereign. Swing with it. We take out the other one. Trailblazers are down. And we swing. Down to 14. Not as heavy as the Parhelion, but we'll take it. And we'd still have hard removal too with Bitter Triumph. Okay, opponents. I mean, our opponent can still pull off something here, so I'm still not out of the woods just yet. Alright, make those. Making a lot of mana. Ugh. Here comes Kiora. Absolutely disgusting. Who would have thought this simple little common planeswalker became such a menace? Okay. Opponent's going to try to go off here as fast as possible. I don't blame them. Oh. Wow, I probably would be mad too if I only got a Land of War Elves. Okay. Alright, so let's see. We need to get a good hit here, though. So let's Dredger's Insight. Come on. Give me a good hit here. Okay. That's nice. So Thundering Broodwagon is in there. We'll get the Professor back. Gain life. And then we will play... Actually, hold on. We'll do it this way. So we will discard... Okay. Throw away the Sky Sovereign again. It does get turned into an enchantment for a forest. Okay, but that's fine. That's totally okay. We just need to basically just kind of keep all their stuff off the field as long as possible. So I think in this instance, I think the boat might be the best option just to kind of keep the board clear while we just kind of start swinging maybe with our creatures here. Okay. We bring back the boats. All right. Hit Kiora. We turn on with Greasefang. We swing. And swing. Kiora's down.
Gonna go for a swim and cool off.
All right. Anything else, opponents? You only have 2 little elves. Some way, somehow, we managed to just completely slow down their whole game plan, so I'm really happy about that. Down to 5. All right. Bounce back the boats. Okay, one more swing here, and we should be able to clean it out. Unless if our opponent has any life gain, I think we are good to go here. Polukranos. Oh, okay. Again, while scary, we can still find a way around that. Are they going to flip it? They could flip it if they want to. We go down to 3, though. An Old Growth Triad. Okay. I think this is it right here. I think we got this. So this should be fine for us. So no matter what we do, this is basically it right here. All right. We learn. In our hand, we throw away the boat. Get another Greasefang. We will... Actually, we don't need to do this. You know what? Well, I'm just going to go for it. We're going for it. Bring back the boat. Hit that Polukranos. We turn it on by crewing. And we swing. And that is game, everybody. Polukranos down. Oh, I forgot it turns on. Oh, it actually has two creatures here. Well, we can still get around that still. We can still get around that. That's actually not horrible for us. So with that, that's actually not bad. I have a way around that still. We still do. Wait, opponents? Okay. We get rid of that. Phew. Okay. Maybe actually I should have gotten the... I realized maybe I should have gotten instead the Broodwag instead. Maybe that would have been better. Okay. It's okay. It's going to take just one extra turn. Not a big deal. Yorvo down. Bounce it back. It's okay, everybody. We're still in control of this match completely. There's nothing our opponent can do at this point. Because that is victory for us, everybody. All right. Very, very nice. And that was it, everybody. Going out big right there. Taking out one of the biggest menaces in the format. Mono Green Devotion down. Woo. Okay. Dense Planet also. Is it a 24 or 25 lands better for mid-range or control deck? Honestly, to answer that one, you have to look at your deck and see what your curve is like first, and then kind of adjust from there. So that's probably your best thing I can give you for advice. I have to look at your deck and kind of see what we can do with it. So FYI for you, just look at your curve. Your best tool for that is, that I always help is, it's not the best tool, but if you go into just at least here, and I mention this all the time whenever we do our deck text. So you can see our average mana curve technically for Greasefang is 2.9, which is high enough where you probably want more lands typically. However, it's factoring in that we're hard casting all of our vehicles. If I was to make the adjustment right now, real quick, so I'll do this for you real quick here. So why 21 lands in a Greasefang deck? Because you want to cheat stuff in. You don't really want to cast it for this amount. So if I was to remove these, and let's say we basically do it for free. So if I was to take all that out and say maybe we'll put them in, I'll just fill this in just to fill it in. Then realistically, Greasefang here technically is actually a 1.7 on the curve. So that means 21 lands is more than enough to get us out what we need. So that's just an example right there, Dense Planet, of just adjusting your land base just depending on what your real curve is. So just kind of keep that in mind. Obviously, you still want to make sure you have space in case if things go wrong, but kind of make that adjustment in that curve depending on how your deck looks. But hopefully that helps you out a little bit here. But otherwise, that was it, everybody. So that was Greasefang is back. So what do you think? Tell me in the comments below, everybody. What do you think? Would you play Greasefang again in Explorer? And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm actually really satisfied with the deck. Granted, we didn't really do too well with the budget one, but we did get a win. So I wouldn't poo-poo the base version. If you do like Greasefang and you want to build into it, definitely start with this cheap version here and then upgrade your mana base as time goes on. I'm not going to ever expect anybody to just spend all their rares or mythics, or if you want to play this in paper, I don't remember how much it is off the top of my head, but granted, it is going to be a little expensive just because of how much some of these cards cost, but budget version should be reasonable enough where you can put this together, whether it's in paper or on digital, and have fun with it. If you do want to take this, of course, to that next level, and you saw earlier today with our non-budget version, totally you can pull that off too. So either way, I would definitely say this is really, really fun and really solid for what it is. So if you do like playing a lot of best of one, I would definitely recommend that. Granted, I will admit we did not play any best of 3 today because I kind of changed up the formatting of how we do our streams. If I have more time, I would probably see if I could squeeze in some best of 3 games just to kind of give you a little bit more leeway into how it works. But that's also the reason why, at least for today and for how this deck is designed, with Professor of Symbology giving us the learn mechanic, that's why I wanted to at least put in some extra options here on the sideboard here for best of 1. So it does give the deck a lot more flexibility than most other decks, or at least other variants of Greasefang. My only thing I probably would consider doing is maybe, we didn't really get a chance to use Salvation Engine at all, so I can't evaluate if this card is good or bad for the deck. But considering how things went today, I probably would say you might want to just consider putting back into Zika's Chariot. Only just because this makes you cat tokens, so it does give you a little bit of an option in terms of just what's... Wait, hold on. Can't spell. Like, in terms of just this, if you don't want Salvation Engine, you probably just cut that one. That's probably the easiest cut. Keep it in Zika's Chariot, just that single copy. Makes cat tokens, helps you go wide if you need to in a pinch. So that's probably the only other minor tweak I would give for the deck. So it's just an FYI for everybody. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really have much else because usually this is when I talk about upgrades, but since we did both a budget and an upgraded version today, that's pretty much it for everybody. So before we go and end the stream today, as always, since you've all stuck around this far into the stream, thanks as always, everybody, my true fighter friends who have been watching. So you kind of can see on screen right now a little sneak peek as to what's to come down the line. So on Monday, we're going to be putting out another basically decks here. So again, for those that are unaware, this is our series of ultra budget deck techs that don't use any rares or mythics. This one is basically deserts, so it is a land-based one again. I know, we've already done a couple of land-based ones, but hear me out. This one's still just as fun and differentiates itself enough from the other ones such as gates and caves that we did earlier. So that's going to be that one. The final one in the 4-color basically series will be basically vehicles. I'm actually really jazzed about this one. It's a very unique one, and it does take a little bit more finesse versus the other deck techs we've done to actually really pull this off even at budget level. For other decks and streams that we're looking at in the future, I'm looking at Haunted Artifacts. It's probably going to be our next one next week. Cavalcade 2025. I'm looking to refine this one a little bit more because I do love me some Cavalcade, but we did get a lot of upgrades for this over the past couple of years, so I think this one should be poised to be ready to go. And our next budget deck tech for standard is going to be Stompy Saurus. So I'm actually also excited for this one too. I'm going to start recording this one probably tomorrow morning once I have a little bit more time. So those are pretty much the major decks that we're going to be looking at over the next couple weeks over on stream and also on YouTube. So be sure to tune in for those if you haven't already done so, and we'll be having a lot more fun again soon on stream. ETA most likely will probably be Wednesday or maybe another day later in the week, but I will of course announce it to everybody across socials so that way you don't miss out. But otherwise, that's pretty much it for me, everybody. I have to go now, and I will have to of course take care of big boy stuff such as getting ready for my actual real job. But again, the support you provide for me today, even just watching, is all I ask for you, and I really do appreciate that. So shout out to, of course, Den Splendid out there and Daniel over on YouTube. Thanks again for holding down the fort today with the chats. Those of you over on Instagram. So we have MT Winalt, we have Magic Nostalgia, we have the Celtic Warrior Games, and Space Cadet MTG. Thanks again for hanging in there. I know you didn't chat and it all from Instagram there, but I still appreciate you guys at least checking me out for today, so thank you. And anybody else that's been watching across any of the other platforms, once more time, I appreciate any and all support that you have provided me. But otherwise, that is it for today, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Have fun. Enjoy playing over Aetherdrift. We'll get a chance to hopefully talk soon about some of the future decks that we'll be doing as we see more and more cards getting released from Tarkir and Final Fantasy over the coming months. But otherwise, one more time, everybody. Hopefully, again, you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again soon. But, as always, just remember, no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you next week, everybody. Later.